Hi, I'm Chris Malone.
And I'm Mark Hagan, and you're watching Chris and Mark's Roadtest Reviews. And what we're going to do in these video series is we're going to talk about equipment that we use on the road.
We've been playing together almost longer than my wife's been alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Anyway.
Moving on.
Moving on. We've gone through a lot of gear, and what we're going to
Good and bad.
Good and bad. And what we're going to do is, for a lot of working musicians, that we're going to say, this is what's going to hold up for you, this is what's held up to us, and we put our stuff through a lot of punishment. So, hopefully it helps you, and if you're a company that wants us to maybe check out your gear and see what, we can put it through, and if it holds up,
put it through the ringer. That's
we'll
what we do,
it.
brah. What we're going to kind of highlight, too, like we were talking about, is stuff that holds up live, stuff that doesn't hold up live. So if you're going to drop your money on something, you kind of know what to expect.
Exactly.
Alright, I started using the Boss Katana version 1 head several years ago, and we used that one. Sweet Jesus, how many, 50, 100 shows?
Yeah.
I mean, we played outdoors, we played indoors, we played at a what was that show where they tried to kill us with whiskey?
Oh, those bikers.
Yeah, the bikers. We played a biker thing outside where I was nearly murdered with whiskey and pork. And then you started using the head as well.
No, I bought the 212.
Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I like the way the head sounded, so I bought the 212 version of it and started using that, and it is just stupid loud for what it is.
Really?
And I mean, for the price you pay for these things, they're not that complicated to use.
No, they're really not.
For a beginning guitar player, they're probably hands down the best thing you can get. And it is solid as a rock. I mean, we've used these things literally both versions. Like, I have the head now too.
Yep.
And I go back and forth with different bands I'm in using the 212 or the head. The line out on them is amazing.
Yep. Well, and the deal breaker for me was we started using in-ears about, how long ago?
That was about a year now.
About a year ago. Once we did the in-ears, and I got tired of messing around with tube amps blowing up and catching fire on me, so I bought, where'd mine go? Which one? Oh, that was mine. The Boss Katana Artist, which is the slightly upgraded version 1 with the better speaker. I mean, I like it. I think it sounds good, but I used Mark's 212 when my amp died last year for how many shows, and that thing sounds damn near just as good as the Katana Artist. But that one has some more front panel features that the other ones don't have. It's got, what does it have? Let's have a look. The cabinet residency control on the front, which goes from, what does that even say? Vintage, modern, and deep. And then the line out feel from recording, live, and blend, you can do right on the front panel if you need to tweak something on the fly. But the cab is a little bit better on the Katana Artist, honestly. But not enough where you're going to be like, oh man, they really upgraded this one. I mean, I think the originals really were pretty darn solid to begin with.
Well, and I actually stopped using cabs live on stage.
Yeah, that's right.
I just use the head and line it directly in. I think it sounds awesome going through my in-ears.
Yeah, they really do. You can sit there and split hairs forever. It's like, yeah, but does it sound like a tube amp? And through the in-ears, it sounds pretty damn close. I mean, it's not going to sound the same as if you're micing up a full Marshall, but I don't want to mic up a full Marshall and drag that thing in and out.
Oh, this thing, for a working musician, somebody that's in and out of a bar every weekend, or if you're doing straight up original gigs where you're playing a 45-minute set
and you got
10-minute
10
minutes to get on and off stage as fast as possible. These things are just the way to go. And like I said, last weekend I had the head played an outdoor show, and it got soaked in the condensation at the middle of the night, and it's still, there's not a damn thing wrong with it.
Yeah. Fun fact, you cannot do that with a Marshall. Or you're in the repair shop and it's going to cost you about $500. I mean, the other nice thing about these katanas too is, within reason, you can pretty much shit can the majority of your pedal board too. because they've got all the built-in effects.
Everything that Boss makes is built into the thing.
Yeah.
Like even the acoustics. These also, like, that's another feature of these that is amazing. If you're somebody like us too, we also do acoustic acts.
Yep.
They double as an acoustic amp.
Yeah.
Which is just ridiculous. Because
well, it's hard to get good acoustic sounds out of an actual amp because it just something with the speaker or it's not a full range or I'm not smart, but with these, I mean, you can literally get anything out of them. They're light as hell. They're cheap, and really the focus of why we do these videos is they literally can just take a beating and still work the next show. I mean, that's what I like about this is I know that if something horrible happens, which bad things happen to us, just in general, that if something horrible were to happen and this amp were to just get knocked off the stand and a fat guy was going to fall on it, it's going to work the next set or the next night or the next week. Whereas, like, I had a really nice Fender. What was my Fender that Luther killed when the handle broke?
Mustang?
No, not the Mustang. Oh, the Hot Rod Deluxe. I had the Hot Rod that maybe fell, hang on, that far, and the tubes all went poof. So I mean, that's one of those things where, you don't have to worry about all of the kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? And maybe you don't know the word I'm looking for. I don't really know the word I'm looking for either. You don't have to worry about them dying as much as you do.
The thing is they hold up, which is the whole point of these reviews that we're doing.
Yeah.
Is because we bought stuff thinking like, oh, this is going to be awesome, and it just went to shit on us.
Yeah, pretty
live.
Instantly. Yeah.
And when you're playing out the elements and you're playing in a live setting
for 4 hours.
Yes.
Outdoors.
Stuff does take wear and tear, and it's the best thing to know is, like, especially like if I'm looking up reviews online, you see a lot of unboxing, a lot of like, this is what this does, this is what this does, but I don't see a lot of how does this hold up. Crazy thing. This little guy.
Oh yeah, shrub that guy.
$100 on anywhere. Boss Katana.
Pretty much
Mini.
anywhere. Yeah.
It is. You can battery power or you can charge it. But I actually use this thing. This thing sounds amazing for a tiny little practice amp. It's stupid loud for a practice amp.
Yep.
And it has.
You had that thing mic'd out at the Verse one night.
Yeah, I mic'd it out one night. We were playing a really small venue.
Yeah.
But then I figured out it has the headphone jack out has a cab simulator. So I just bought the little 1/8 inch to new XLR, ran it right into the board, and this thing sounded amazing. I used it for a bunch of shows for just this little tiny thing. And
$100.
Yeah.
Are you using the brown sound?
I am using the brown sound.
Wow,
actually.
I knew it. But that's apples and oranges. I know a lot of guys like the brown sound and it works great for them, and it sounds way better than when I use the brown sound. So what the hell?
Well, then again, too, is like you're more technical with your sound. I'm a straight up rhythm player. I'm not, as talented guitar wise, as some people.
I'm a better dancer too.
Yeah, I don't know about
that. Actually, no, that's not true. That was actually a complete lie.
Yeah.
So maybe you're a better dancer. Okay, I'll give you that.
But, for what I can use it for, like what I've been using it for, I get a great sound that I really like out of it.
Well, it sounds good. That's
easy.
Easy. And the thing with the Katanas that I like too is I've used a lot of solid state amps that are supposed to get close to tube-ish sounds, and most of them really missed it by about that much. This one's pretty darn close. Like, you're not going to sit there and be like, this is exactly like standing in front of my John Petrucci signature blah 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 stack. No, but it's $300. We had a show last weekend, outdoor show, and I was sitting there going, man, I don't miss my tube amp at all. If you cover the ground that we cover guitar playing wise, from doing like really neurotic lead stuff to like, social distortion-y, crunchy rhythm stuff, it does both really well. I actually really like the clean tone on mine too. I think that that was another big thing that I found lacking in a lot of the kind of solid state, emulator-y kind of stuff is that there's always a weird like feel difference in the clean that I don't really notice when I use the clean tone on mine.
Yeah.
And to be realistic, they say that these are like tube level volume stuffs. That's the scientific way they describe it on the site, I believe. But they literally are as loud as a tube amp. When I was using the head, I wasn't even going through the PA.
Well, that's actually why I switched from the 212 to the head because I was killing our drummer. I put it back by him, and it was just so loud for him back there because they're open. It's open back.
It's all go stupid flies. My basement flooded, so we're having a little fly problem down here. Resume.
Yeah, they're definitely, you will get your money's worth out of this if you buy one of these. If you're a working musician, like, this is definitely worth your money.
The bang for your buck out of these things is utterly ridiculous. That being said, like 18-year-old me that really was like, I really got to have a full stack and blah, 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 would have been like, I don't want a silly combo that's versatile and, durable.
I believe that's why they're so cheap, because there's so many people that are like, I got to have a Marshall, I got to have...
Oh, yeah.
I got to have a Fender, I got to have, like, which are amazing amps.
And there's nothing wrong with that, too, because they're all great amps, but...
Our thing, too, with a lot of the stuff that we buy and we use, we want good equipment, but we're in and out of bars every weekend. I don't want to bring $3,000 amp into a bar.
Yeah, if you're going to gig a lot, especially in a bar environment where it's very unpredictable, you don't really have control of the environment. Or the power. Or the power. I mean, that's the thing is how many amps have I gone through?
Oh, God,
Jesus Christ.
Going brown power so often.
They're pretty much stupid proof. Unless you sit there and you just pour like gallons of beer on it during a show, which, you can probably do it.
It probably still hold up. You're playing a bar gig, chances are most people aren't going to be like, hey, that's not a tube amp.
I can hear the stereo separation in that. You can tell he's using EL34s. No.
Nobody's
especially when you're going through a PA in a small-ass bar, and especially like with us, like with the in-ears. Because, if you're a seasoned fella, like we are, when you've got a good tube amp or any kind of amp, we're seasoned like meat.
No.
You got that one spot in front of your amp. That sounds amazing. You move 3 inches to the left, it's tinny. You move 3 inches to the right, it's too much. You've got that one sweet spot that, if you're there, sounds awesome. But when you're using in-ears, you could be anywhere. It don't matter.
Where you are.
And so when you've got a really good line out, like on the Katanas, and I'm sure there's going to be somebody that's going to be like, wow, that line out isn't on blah, 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 then buy one. If you want to spend like $800 on this or that or whatever live, if that's what you want to do, dude, knock yourself out.
These series is to tell you what we've used, and we're, seasoned working musicians, and this is what holds up for us, and which is what this whole series is about. These are like strictly our opinions, but this is just what we've experienced and what we've used and what we've put them through, that they will hold up. We believe they will hold up for you.
If this isn't your cup of tea, then that's fine. Don't waste your time being like, you guys are idiots. Because there's a lot of really good gear out there. There's, lots of dudes I know are using the Helix and loving those. I personally don't want to spend that much on anything right now. That's especially, because, Gettle uses it.
I know about 4 or 5 people that have those, and they love them.
YouTube friend of mine, Lucas, just got one. He said he loves his. So,
it's a lot of deep diving and getting everything put together on those. This is just...
plug it and play, and you're pretty much there.
Yeah.
It's all like risk and reward, right? Where if you're going to put $300 into something and it's awesome, you're going to feel pretty good about that.
That's the other thing. If you're a musician on a budget.
Yeah. Alrighty. So for our rating of this amplifier, I give it a solid thumbs up. Honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
Features, price, durability.
Features, everything. This thing definitely will hold up for you.
Yep. I would not only give it a full thumbs up, but I would also give it a monster. I don't know how that currency works out, but I think it's probably pretty good.
Are we vying for an endorsement again?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Gotcha.
We will not bow to any sponsors, Mark. Damn it. We're going to be doing the next one on some Morley pedals that we have used over the years that have held up quite nicely.
Other things we're going to be running through too is some PA gear.
Yep.
We do use the Boss F1 series for our live shows, plus Soundcraft and just a bunch of other stuff that, like I said, that we use and we have used in the past. So I've seen a lot of reviews of the Boss or the Bose systems.
And the Boss. But
yeah.
the Bose too.
But the Bose systems. But I haven't seen a lot of a live working band that's used one, and we use it a lot, and we put it through the ringer. So, and
loud full band shenanigans.
Yeah, so we'll be doing reviews of those too, let you guys know how those hold up and whether or not it's worth your band to have one.
And don't despair, we will also be doing reviews on live gear that is not held up and has been a complete shit show.
Yeah.
So do not despair, we will be burying things on this channel too. So as always, if you like this kind of content and you'd like to see more, or you just enjoy punishing yourself with my stupidity, remember to subscribe, like, do the little cute bell icon so you get subscriptions anytime I post any of this wacky nonsense. And you got anything else, Dad?
Not that I can think of right now.
Alrighty, sounds good. We'll see you guys next time.